Warning! The following video may contain flashing images. Viewer discretion is advised. Ahoy hoy there folks, and welcome back to Put It to TSET, and today we're going back, well, not quite the full 19 years to the formation of total non-stop action wrestling, but to 2006, when we saw the world introduced to the TNA Wrestling iMPACT World Championship Belt playset. Yeah, I'm still on my miniature playset binge, and I'm not actually on the main things just yet. This is just a nice little... This is a novelty and a curiosity, being a wrestling fan and a miniature playset fan, so it's nice to actually have this in my possession finally. It's one of those things you kind of eyed up and looked at a while back. So yeah, once upon a time, TNA was doing good business as part of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, and they formed themselves a little known... they got themselves partnered with a little known company. Can you see that? Marvel Toys? Yes. So, yeah. 2006 this was produced, I believe. Yep, 2006. And they were producing a line of action figures and a couple of other novelties, including the, this World Heavyweight Champion Wrestling playset. So, the box was, as ever, the blue lockdown style of the time with the bright yellow, this stood out. In a toy shop, this stood out. Every little angle, every little which way you looked at it, it stood out. So, yes, back to the front, it does include us an AJ Styles action figure and a Jeff Jarrett action figure, because let's face it, who were your top two stars? AJ and Jarrett. That was TNA at one point, and that was it. So, have a quick look at the back of the box so you can see what looks to be a laughably scaled ring inside this playset, but we'll see. But apparently the belt buckle slides off to reveal a wrestling playset. I don't quite see how it slides and sits and creates the ring, but we shall have a look. And it is just typical with two toys in one. That's because it's basically, it is a championship belt, which I will get into later. God damn. Throwing this thing around everywhere. Both hands. Yeah, and as is typical with the TNA toys at the time, you had yourself the profiles of the two wrestlers included. So, let's have a look. AJ Styles back in the day. Am I going to turn that off? Is that ring light's just going to be a pain in the ass? You know what it is? I'm going to turn it off. There we go. So AJ Styles, 5'10", 215, Gainesville, Georgia Styles Clash. Phenomenal, quite possibly exciting high-flying star. AJ Styles human highlight reel. So at the time he was 3-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, 5-time X-Champion, 2-time NWA Tag Team Champion, 2003, 2004 and 2005 Mr. TNA winner. And on the opposing side, Mr. Jarrett from Henderson, Tennessee with the stroke. No jokes there. Multiple-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Jarrett is one of the most technically gifted wrestlers. Guitar swinging, etc., etc. King of the Mountain. Cool. So, there we go. That is the have a look at the box. So let's not waste any time. Just dig right in it. Now, I'm assured this is technically brand new in box, but it's seen some damage in the day, so I'm not overtly convinced. Immediately, I'm looking at the sticker sheet, and it's a bit bent. But we'll have a look at the instructions and bits and pieces in a minute. Right, how can I get this out with minimal amount of damage? So, yeah, this is what you all came for. Very exciting, undoing twisty ties, because, this is what the kind of mentalization therapy thing that you're into, isn't it? Bit of ASMR, bit of twisty ties. Oh, come on. Oh, these are... Okay, this is guaranteed never been taken out of the packaging, because Jesus, no one has ever wrapped that up like that to put it back in the box. No, sir. Well, that's quite neat. I got exactly what I paid for, and I am chuffed. What I will say is that I would like to do a comparison with an old WCW style of playset that did pretty much similar, but smaller and with metal statuettes rather than actual action figures, but I can't get them for love nor money over here in the UK. They're a bit of a stateside thing. It's a bit of an arse to get hold of, so. But we will enjoy. So let's I'll slide this off without ruining the packaging. Not that I'm too fussed about packaging. I mean, you should know me by now. Yeah, that's not coming off. I'm quite happy to unwrap everything because the idea is they're toys. They're meant to be played with. Right, quick jump cut, reposition, and we get a better look at this thing.
Stop action! All seats are only $10! See Superstars Next!
Alright, okay, so let's start off by looking at this as a display piece or a wearable professional wrestling toy belt. Let's bring in a quick comparison for you. So it's about in scale with your standard WWE foam belt. You know, it's pretty similar in size, pretty average, nothing untoward. It's all pretty, you know. It's obviously not got the foam and the plastic. It's all sturdy plastic here because obviously it's not just a display thing. So if you have a look at these, yeah, these folded plastic bits. Oh, not in frame, Timus. Yeah, these are going to snap with too much use, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of that. It is just literally a pop-in system by the looks of things. Just, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Don't tell me it's stuck. Don't tell me it's stuck. Okay. Okay. Crisis averted. Crisis averted. Right. Let's put some extra light on the fat. That looks better. So yes, you can see it's, you know, creased plastic. It's weak there on both sides. Small popper system which will wear out in time. Not ideal as a display piece wearable bit of kit. The actual design of the belt itself is poor. You've kind of got the Greco-Roman style thing over here, but where's all the details? Where's all the flags? Where's Marvel? What were you playing at, Marvel? This is atrocious. This front plate is just like blur. The championship. Okay. Let's you know, I want to look at the figures. I do want to look at the figures. So we have got ourselves AJ and Jeff Jarrett. So to give you an idea of scale, let's bring in. Let's right. So let's start off with the Marvel's Toys action figure line. So this is Shark Boy, one of the Marvel action figure lines. For TNA at the time. So as you can see, yeah, it's about about half the height. There's about, you know, these are, you know, this is the 6-inch 1/16 scale, so these may be 1/32 scale, more or less, give or take. So definitely not in the same scale. And looking at the articulation, yeah, I mean, it's articulation here. You've got two shoulder ball joints. You've got a basic sitting leg one, and you've got a head. We've got a waist movement. No, not even got waist movement. So yeah, 4 points of articulation. Not very interesting. Whereas obviously the larger figures had much more range of movement and articulation. All right, let's take a quick look at something that's just a touch more modern. These are the Rumbler figures. So these are WWE Micro Playset Rumbler figures. They're about twice the size of them and less cartoony in design. So not your Rumbler scale. What else we got? Let's have a look at the Micro. So these were Micro Aggression, Micro Impact. These were the Jax designs before Jax took over, you know. Because Jax originally did WWE figures and then they eventually moved on to TNA. Again, not quite in scale, so definitely not that sort of scale. What else we got? We got the WWF. Oh, hello. Oh, these look pretty good. So these are the Jax. This is Farouk from the Jax. I can't remember what it is, but they were ring play sets. Came with, I want to say, 6 wrestlers, a steel cage, and all sorts of other little neat bits and pieces. So they're about in scale with that. They've got better articulation than these Jax figures, which didn't even have a head move. They just had arms and legs one way thing. So they had 4 points of articulation there. So they're about in scale with those, if that's what you're looking for. Just to sort of help clarify what we're looking at here and just exactly how big these little Watsits are. Now, you may have noticed there's a few issues. let's go with Jeff first. Let's go with Jeff. So, overall, as an action figure, oh, it's a bit bright. We're going to get some white balance. Thank you. He's not terrible. I mean, apart from the glaring bright blonde moustache. Yes, he was blonde. Actually, side profile that looks pretty good, but from the front, it just like, I've just been sniffing cocaine. You've just caught me. It's not far wrong, but I don't know if. Can I just show you? You know, Jeff's moustache and goatee is darker than his bleached blonde hair. Not so much with the figure. I don't recall this being a problem with the old WCW figure, which was Toy Biz, which was Marvel Toys before it was Marvel Toys from WCW, and the TNA. Yeah, I don't recall that being a major issue, but paintwork's good. Paintwork is very, very good on his face. Let's have a look at his trunks. Basic design. It's not bad. Paintwork looks good. Knee pads. Yeah. Overall, it's not a bad Jeff Jarrett figure. I mean, the choice of paint colour on the moustache aside, and I'm more than happy with that. More than happy with Jarrett. AJ, on the other hand, what is this goblin thing? What? Okay. From that angle, he almost passes for AJ Styles. From this angle, that's Pickle from Nightmare, isn't it? Surely.
I mean, take Pickle here, for instance. Not exactly one of them. But there again, not exactly one of us either.
Like the elf goblin thing. What on earth have they done to you, AJ? One eye's darker than the other. What? They definitely did AJ a disservice. Actual sculpts and molds of these are pretty good. They're nice, pretty tough plastic. Like I said, I didn't say they're pretty tough plastic, but they're good plastic, all the same sort of thing. Fairly sturdy, good articulation. Let's have a look at the paint on the trunks. That's very nice. That's very swish. That's a transfer, not an actual paint job. As is that. So I'll just push the camera. Styles. It's not bad. I mean, you know, ignore the face. That's not a bad generic wrestling figure. And you could, I mean, AJ did sort of have a generic outfit at the time, and yeah. Besides the face, which they definitely did him a dirty, because his Marvel Toys TNA figures were actually pretty good. I quite like them, and I especially love the little robes they all came with, because he was the main attraction. He was the star. I have just noticed something. Do you remember the sticker sheet? I certainly didn't. That's where the flags are. That's where the logos are. So that's why there's nothing on here. Because they're all stickers. Oh god, I'm going to have fun with this, aren't I? Right, before we attempt to take this apart, let's do the sensible thing and have a look at the destructions. I was expecting more. It's literally just printed on the back of the stickers. This is your lot. Oh, no. Okay. Still not massively won over. I was expecting more stickers. Okay. Right. Slide ring out from belt. That's what it says. Right, so let's do that. So is there a specific way of doing it? Hey. Oh. You've slid it out. So basic, nothing, plastic backing. Right, let's raise buckle. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, there we go. There's our ring. Pull back post to set up ring. Oh, I think the elasticity's gone on these from several years of sitting around. Oh no, there's still a bit of ping to them. Okay, no, they've survived pretty well. They've done pretty well. Place labels on ring A, B, and then the things, and let the total non-stop action begin. I like that. That's pretty cool. And there's the defunct Marvel Toys thing. I think, did Mattel make Marvel these days? I can't remember who makes Marvel. Right. I remember requesting to make mine Marvel. Go on, and let's do the stickers live and ruin everything. So this is the old TNA entrance way. The tunnels before AEW did them. It's quite nice. Good, decent photo, that's for sure, of the old TNA entrance ramp. That's pretty good. I managed to do that quite well. if I do say so myself. Right, what's it recommend doing the... Now see, all of the promo photos, the TNA logo straight across on here, on the directions, it's got a... In fact, that's got a thing on it. That's got a thing. Okay, whatever. We'll run it horizontally, because I think that looks more likely to be the thing. Ooh. That looks like they should light up. It isn't going to, it's just the colour and the shade of the grey, but it looks like you could put a light bulb under it and almost have like an interactive element on it, so every time it gets bumped, it lights up. I think I may have come across the new thing. I'm going to have a quick look. Yeah, it's just stiff plastic, screws in there. I won't do the flags just yet. I mean, I might do them before the final roundup, but let's concentrate on the playset itself. So, yeah, these don't quite stand up straight. I'd expect them to be a bit further back. You know, we're currently leaning inwards. I don't know if you can sort of make that out, but yeah, they are sort of leaning in, which is good. Means the elasticity is good. They're sealed off with these plastic cappers, which is interesting. Usually, they're either the metal ones or they're just tied. I'm not sure if these plastic ones work any better, but hey, it is what it is. Detailing on the turnbuckles is not bad. It literally is just a small little gap that runs the elastic through. Can we get in closer? We're getting closer now. Yes, it's just a small little gap the elastic runs through in each of the turnbuckles. And this is a fiddly thing to put together in the factory. Normally they just supply the ropes. So the fact it's already installed is a massive bonus for me. And I imagine for kids as well, because it's like, you get a brand new wrestling ring, you've got to tie everything up, and it's just a nightmare. It's like, no, babe. Yeah, the skirting of the ring's a bit sort of blah, which is, no, it's reasonable. It's reasonable. I still not. There is a lip actually on this. There's a definite lip. Let's just getting close again on the ring. So there's, what's that? 3 millimeter lip there. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be fair, but it's I don't see why it's there. That's my main issue. It's like, why is there a lip there? Why? I mean, I can understand having the different plastics and there's room for it to blur. What's the word? Where it blends and unintentionally. Bleeds, that's the word. I knew it was a blur sound. Yeah, I've got room for the plastic colours to blur. But, yeah, basic kinji. The actual design of it's pretty basic. I mean, oh. Yeah, that's not going to last too many plays. I can feel that. It's got a bit of force to it, but it's not... Yeah, I can see that snapping and not being all that. I mean, it's literally just a single extra little bit of a mould on there, and I presume, yeah, there's a little bit of a... So yeah, you probably can't see it, but there's a little gap just directly underneath the turnbuckle where that little module sits in, so it pushes its way through and just pops into place in the little gap there. So it's actually a basic playset design. There's nothing amazing. I don't know why you've got to slide the thing out to get the place. I suppose it's so you don't have it on the belt, although it is pictured displayed on the belt as a playset. I mean, I see, that's the old design before they got the tunnels in the right picture. But yeah, no, I suppose you wouldn't actually play it on the belt. That's a bit odd, because yeah, you're just gonna knacker the plastic doing that. No. So yeah, okay. Overall, it's not terrible. As it for scale with the wrestlers, because this was this was another big thing. Yeah, it's an amazing scale. Reminds me, oh damn, I should have brought them down, of the old bootleg wrestling toys that weren't licensed by anyone, that were just odd scale, tiny ring, big wrestlers, almost like the UK independent scene at one point. Tiny ring, big fat chunky wrestlers. It's grand. Yeah, okay. Everything considered, it's not terrible. I mean, to scale, let's go grab Farouk in here. And yeah, he doesn't look out of place at all. He looks pretty good in there, actually, as it goes. Cool. Let's do an action shot. Let's give a styles clash. I mean, I could have give Jarrett the win with the stroke, but let's not. Let's give some props to AJ. I can't even give him the bloody styles clash because he's too tall, and arms and his legs and his... Yeah, come on. He looks more like a Boston crab than a bloody styles clash. Come on. Come on. No. Essentially, no, I can't position him in the styles clash. But okay, fair enough. But you can see, I mean, you couldn't put him in the figure 4 leg lock, because... Not that you could anyway, but, you know, you sit him in the figure 4 leg lock, and he's touching the freaking ropes. It's all a bit small scale, which I suppose in this sort of thing you kind of have to give a bit of leeway to. I'm not impressed, but I'm not disappointed, I have to say. So let's do one final look at this, and then we will... Because there's one last little feature, obviously, that I don't know. You may have spotted, you may not have done. Back in a mo.
Morgan, Shark Boy, and the Icons team.
Okie dokie smoky. Right, so let's have a quick look at this then. So, the last feature bounces at a bit of a weird angle because, yeah, there's nowhere to store the figures in this playset, so you store them on the belts itself, which is slightly different, bit of a novelty. Not my most preferred method of storage, I have to say. I almost certainly will not keep them there. It looks daft. It looks stupid. I've never owned an NWA anything. I don't think. Not to this scale anyway. And just having a shoddy little Jeff Jarrett and a shoddy little AJ Styles kind of takes away a bit of the mystique. Yeah, okay, the stickers, they stand out like sore thumbs and they look awful against just the basic plastic, just horrible molds. So yeah, the deal is here, right, is that this was a fantastic idea and one of those cute little, it's not meant to be, it was never meant to be a display piece. It was a brilliant idea of including a wrestling ring and action figures for those who just, you know, didn't have the space or couldn't afford the full scale things, you know. So it's not unreasonable. It's quite nifty. I mean, I don't think I would have ever paid full retail price for it. That's my major issue with it. Looking at the reviews of it, I was not overly impressed with it when it first came out, which is why I never actually bothered to get it until now, and getting it, you know, quasi second hand, first hand, brand new in the box, new old stock at a reasonable price. Yeah, it's a shame that I can't store. I mean, is there not room to store them? I'm curious now. I'm looking. There is. Look, there's room to store them behind the belt buckle. You could have. There must have been something, because it just slides out. It's two separate bits of plastic. Surely you could have like put something here and here, and had them mounted here in some fashion, and then you wouldn't ruin the aesthetic of the belt. I don't know. I might be overthinking this. It's Marvel Toys. It's an interesting little design. It's cute. It got the NWA belt out there. It's got AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett. It's TNA merchandise. I suppose at the time, anything would have been better than nothing, because, you know, this was when TNA was on its rise. It's on its way to the top. And yeah, it's a nice little thing. I could have easily imagined, had the WWF been still producing figures in that scale, that I definitely would have put them together. I probably would have even enjoyed these ones more because of the added articulation. But yeah, this was the only thing made in this scale. I'm not quite sure why, because I know they did several lines of the full-size action figures and several wrestling rings as well, but this was the only thing in this scale ever produced, so obviously wasn't very popular, didn't sell very well. I'm going to put that down to good idea, poor execution. And yeah, so that was the Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling Impact World Championship Belt playset. And yeah, I've got lots more. You can see I've got lots more wrestling toys and action figures and micro things to go through on top of all my other miniature playsets that I have to go through. So any preferences, do shout it out in the comments and we might get to them. Also, any other wrestling specifics, I'm more than happy to. I will get to my wrestling story at some point, AJ, so do not fear on that one. But yeah, until we step back into the ropes again, I've been Timus TSET, and I shall see you on the next one. Ta-ra for now.